minus armor. It counts as physical, so this is fairly strong still. Lifestealer plus Slaughter, it's a classic combo. Yeah, along with the Ember as well, you've got really good Infest targets here. You could potentially play with Infest plus Gobble Up if Afu somehow finds that farm, and you've got, what, 2 heroes flying out at you out of nowhere, plus an Ember running through, plus the Elder Titan Spirit. There's a lot of mobility on hand for SMG. It's going to be very hard to bully out a Lifestealer. Early on, you want to kind of apply that pressure from Cignal. Level 1 to level 3 for Lifestealer is sort of weak. Look to really try to harass him out, make mid-one's time really hard. And that's what Cignal needs to get done. We need to see more activity come out. Like last game, again, the initial 5 minutes were looking good. They were getting those early kills. Dropping the bot lane especially, that presence from Grims just wasn't there. So on a standard 5 like the Grimstroke, I think Cignal has more opportunities to play to their strengths. We just need to see now if the execution can line up here.
Impactful this game, but let's see how it turns out. Cignal Ultra.
That is too good.
This matchup.
Prepare for battle.
To try and force it to a game. It's definitely going to be a little bit harder said than done, John, because I'd have to say quite confidently that SMG came out with the better draft.
Yeah. It just looks really sweet. They've got those comfort picks. They've got the Nea Ember back in play. He loves this here. He knows how to play it with it on the edge. I like that Cignal are going for an aggressive smoke. They've got some really strong level 1 potential here. They just need to find that approach angle, but SMG's kind of ready. KP's holding the high ground, just watching the ramp. And if he does get jumped, well, the rest of his team is pretty far. He might get caught out here.
Breaks the smoke. He hasn't screwed up anything yet. There's the Impale out, but a nice cookie away from Arthur. You're not going to mind that too much at all. In fact, you might just be able to turn now as Roger. He's got a big amount of damage with that Astral Spirit. Eris is getting just knocked the hell out with the suitcase of Roger, but a nice Impale. Going to land on 3. Basically lined up for him there, and well, that'll stop the first blood happening, at least on SMG's end. Nice save by Afu, by the way, on the cookie.
Yeah, just getting that nice angle right onto the low ground. No other spells landed. So they're pretty happy here in SMG. Should be able to end up with 3 bounty runes here, and that's just going to set up for a very smooth start for Nea. Of course, getting that really quick bottle in that matchup is going to help the cause. Going to see the lanes break out. For now, it looks like SMG are looking for a tri-lane top. We've got KP on the Slaughter, of course, Afu on that snap. Raji is sticking around on the Elder Titan. This could be deadly. If he gets another big Astral Spirit out, they can just chain stun out, get the damage off. The side of Cignal are also keeping a tri-lane here, but could be risky. Running a try against Elder Titan is kind of always a risky prospect for just because you get so much value from that spirit early on.
It's not a good idea. I mean, it's never a good idea, right? It's Elder Titan with an Astral Spirit. Eris is going to show himself now. They see the tri-lane, but Eris does not really want to be there with Roger right now on that tree line, as the damage output is going to be way too high. What do you do, though? Do you give up on the tri-lane? Do you let it go? Like, it's snapped by Elder Titan and Slaughter. It's a very strong tri-lane.
Yeah, it is. I think the issue that Cignal are facing here is that the bot lane is very steady to have. You don't really want supports up there, although.
Fu, up a lot of damage. Cignal Ultra obviously have a lot of kill potential themselves, but you see part of the problem is Bing's not really going to be able to get away without copping some harassment. Unless they're willing to turn around and punish with the Inkswarm, the Impale. But it's much harder to execute than it is with SMG's own tri-lane.
Yeah, it's oh.
No, go on, John. He's fine.
The main thing again is that they're stabilizing this tri-lane, because once they pull out, there's no pressure from SMG to pull out themselves. Like, especially since the Lifestealer bot mid-one's already having a good time against Van. The Bloodseeker not really applying that early pressure. You can see Van, he's out of mana. He can't really harass out mid-one. He just stands there, gets the right clicks off. Not many last hits coming through for Van, so you don't want to break out that solo lane. Whereas for Cignal, if they do, they'll get overrun on the top lane. So the pressure is on them to maintain it. Rather than SMG. SMG is just perfectly fine choking out Cignal this way, and it's just going to be very hard for Abing to recover. Like, you need levels up to really maximize the spin Inkswell. You need levels up on your Nyx to get that level 6 timing. You're not getting either of those done maintaining the tri-lane, and the supports of SMG in that sense are more selfless. Afu still stuck level 1, doesn't care, still has impact. Raji level 1, doesn't care, still has impact. Give all the space to KP in mid 1, you're still doing perfectly fine, and gives us a bit of a chance to look down mid before action breaks out. Nea is on that Ember, Jamesy is on the Storm. Jamesy is working this lane quite nicely, about 7 last hits above, so actually really nice for the Ember early on. Nea just lagging behind just a bit, is opting for... Oh,
nice cookie away, but the ink swap's still going to land. Eris unable to finish up the kill though, and now KP is going to turn right back around onto Eris, but eventually decide to back off as they don't really want to leave the lane too long. So it does go back to what you said, right? Like, the longer you're out of the lane, the more Abing's going to be able to farm.
Radiant are
Who cares about the Nyx assassin kill? Just stay in the lane and make sure the Jug never feels confident to be able to go up to that creep wave. In fact, Roger right now going to go on to Grims, a nice impale setup into the Inkswell. This could be a nice kill, but a great cookie out. Afu once again saving the day. Onto Eris they go. KP gonna pop the sprint, but not going to be too willing to go too far out. It's just going to go right back into the lane.
Yeah, and you can see what Cignal's trying to do. They're trying to draw attention away from Abing. He's trying to play catch-up. It's up to the 11 last hits. Not a very good time for the Jug regardless. And as the levels build up for both set of supports, it just feels scarier for the side of Cignal. Like, Afu gets level 3. He's going to have either the Scatter Blast for burst or even more levels in the Cookie for stun. It's going to be really hard to contest that. And with the little Shredder up, the minus armor pallets on, you have an opportunity to contest Water Runes. Eris at least snakes one away. So you're denying out the bottle refill here early on for Nea, which does lead to Jamesy again having that good lane, one of the only good lanes coming out for Cignal. Although right now it has drawn even with Nea catching up. So even then, SMG is not going to mind too much. So finding everything.
Cookie out again. Inkswell may not reach no KP. He turned around for a second. It may cost him, but no, they're going to try and turn around with a big stomp out from Raji into the stun. They will get one. Abing now going to get chased down. Eris, he's going to be all right. It's kind of part of the other point here, right? Like, you're fighting into Elder Titan with Astral Spirit and Stomp, and it's going to make it that much more difficult to be able to kill anyone.
Yeah, it's just the chain stunts are way scarier coming out from SMG. Cignal, it's potent as well, but it's not as easy to land. Like, Crush is such a wide AoE, the Cookie stun is also wide, the Astral Spirit Echo Stomp range is super wide, so it's just very easy to chain up that control and get yourself started. You're getting all the XP here on the side of SMG, you're getting even side pulls off as well.
Cookie available, pretty well timed, but the Inkswell does still connect, still a big try. Oh, the little Shredder. They get the Snapfire, but it is not worth the Juggernaut's life. And you saw how easy it was to get that last hit off. Like, with the little Shredder minus armor, KB just hit him once. Just lost all his HP, and it just kind of feels like Cignal Ultra were getting a little bit desperate in that tri lane, just with the chase on the Snapfire. Like, what's the real point if you're going to lose your Jug?
Yeah, it's kind of desperate for Cignal right now. I think they don't know what exactly to do. They know the tri-lane's not working. They can't really bully out a Life Sealer now at level 5. They could maybe look at rotations to mid. Eris is trying to get some stacks. You should look to try and bully out the Ember while he's not quite up, but you already have level 6 up in Nea, so even that point is kind of really hard to take.
Top lane, Grims, very, very low KP. Gonna go ahead and put him out of his misery. Another kill there for the Slaughter. That'll mean Abing will have to deal with KP once again, and that's something he really doesn't want. Especially considering KP is currently out XPing the Juggernaut, and without the supports around, he's just going to be able to out-level him completely. Not much they can do. I mean, maybe you hope for a Storm rotation now that he's level 6, but it does seem like Jamesy doesn't really want to move quite yet. Gonna have to soon though. Deeps out, Abing is gonna be able to back off. Jamesy, I'm looking back in that mid lane, Johnny. Not really looking too healthy. He can't rotate right now if they intend to go in and Afu. He's thinking about it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
got that cookie set up. B, another bash shot on the jug. Not going to initiate quite yet. There's a pretty big creep wave here for the Slardar. As you're farming and jug's not, you're more than happy with the way this lane's going.
Yeah, and again, all the supports are tied up top, so the mid lane's going really nice for Nea. He's just taking control. He's lagging a bit behind. That's because Jamesy was cleaning out a couple of camps. The bot lane for mid one's just basically free as well.
Well, they got the ink swap, but Arthur again is going to survive. He'll run away from our ping. The southbound, the little shredder. It won't be enough to survive, but it will be enough to get the killers. Now Jamesy has rotated in, but Nea, he's going to be there on the Ember. A nice turnout from KB, but the bash of the deep's not going to be there in time. Sleight of fist, however, chains Nea, looking for the right moment, does move in. Jamesy can't really get away from this. The ink swell out from Grims might be enough, but no, Nea. Great remnant right through the Storm Spirit into the Grimstroke. He'll take a triple kill for himself. And I was talking about storm rotations, John, but apparently Nea, he's the one to rotate. Eris gets a nice impale out, and a rupture is there onto KB, but the stomp is there from Rogi to try and put an end to this. They got the cookie stun off. Van, he will just try and run. A big meanwhile will at least be able to kill off Rogi. They do get a nice trade for themselves in the end.
Mega kill! Double
Nea
kill!
finds another. That was basically a rampage.
Yep. That it was. Nea's just...
He got 5 kills.
He's just on fire. SMG are just playing way too clean. 9-4, 2K lead up. The pressure is there on Cignal to make these movements come out. It's not worth it. Nea is just 2 levels above your Storm now. He's got the phase boots. He's probably going to build into Corrosion. If not, I don't fault him because he's got 1.3k in the bank. So you can look elsewhere for the itemization. Cignal, none of their lanes just ended up well. They're kind of stuck in that same situation from game 1. Look at mid 1. The solo lane for the Lifestealer puts him at top net worth, uncontested. Armlet going to be up very soon after the phase. Very quick timings for mid 1. I don't know if you've got control for the Lifestealer once he starts to show up in these fights.
Van being chased. The bot lane. Bloodride is going to be down, but it won't really matter. Mid 1, he has the rage. The stomp's out, and Van's going to try, but once the Lifestealer's on top of you, it's just so hard to get away. The slow, it's just so much. It's just getting to that point we saw in game 1 where slowly but surely SMG, they're taking over the map very confidently. This time around, even Arfu showing up in the mid lane with a little shredder. Just getting damage onto that tier 1. And last game around, it was Cignal Ultra that got the tier 1 mid first. But this time, it might be a bit of a different story.
Yeah, you saw Cignal for a while. Eris?
Oh, yeah, he's gone. Stomp out. Does he have Vendetta? Not quite. Arfu will take care of it. They're trying, but the XP difference is just so large. And Nea's just doing way too much damage with no items, by the way. He's just got phase boots, basically.
Yeah, it's just too much coming out already. He's rushing. He's got the Crystallis. He doesn't even go Orb of Corrosion. Who needs it when you've got Corrosive Haze? Crit Ember coming out. This is probably the fastest Crystallis timing we've ever seen because no one rushes it. But Nea, this far ahead, why not? He's already doing a lot of work. Might as well kill him faster.
I mean, max sleight of fist with the Crystallis is going to hurt quite a lot. And well, don't forget, John, the Crystallis crit damage is going to be amplified with all the minus armor they have. So those crits are going to be hitting even harder for Nea. You can kind of see why he even bothered going for this itemization. As top lane, KP gonna get jumped on. This could be a very nice kill for Cignal. He'll throw the stun out, but it's not going to be enough. They'll chase him down. Jamesy will be able to set up a very important kill for Cignal Ultra. However, in the mid lane, Van is also going to drop. So you basically just evenly traded the offlaners, and they are going to lose that mid tier 1 tower, it looks like. Unless Nea maybe drops here. A nice setup. Cookie out from Arfu. Might be enough, but no, the Inkswell there. Onto Eris will be enough damage. Eris now will go for a bit more. Jamesy gonna zip in with the Vortex out. Does get one and should be able to get Rogi with the Omni. He'll get it.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Definitely
attack.
a great set of events now happening for Cignal Ultra. Something they desperately needed. Finding 4 kills across the map.
Yeah, it's just a bit greedy from SMG. Nea didn't manage to get that Sleight of Fist off as the Inkswell came out, and he's been very good at dodging that spell. This time around, it leads to his death. So they managed to find those big kills coming through that massive streak off of Nea. Just about 538 gold going out to Grims on that Grimstroke. So you're finding some opportunities. You need so much more farm to come out for Abing, though. The farm difference between these cores are still too big. Mid one's just completely taken over. Jamesy and Nea aren't too far apart. In fact, Jamesy has bounced back in, so the Storm should be able to ride into the Orchid timing, try to take control that way. Just some more patience needed here for Cignal. The issue is SMG are going to find that mid-tier 1, and that does open up the jungle. It's going to make it a lot harder to just sit back and farm. SMG can just play even more aggressive from this point in that opposite side of the river.
Problem is, Storm does need quite a bit more farm to be as impactful as, say, the Ember. And well, top side, James is going to move in now, but Nea's going to show up. They will lose KP immediately, but Jamesy might die for his trouble, and they get him. Very nice trade here for SMG, as they might just find another man. Cookie on target. Van goes down. Mid one will take that one for himself. And well, you just got the mid-tier 1. Why the hell not go for the top tier 1 tower?
Is under attack.
There's nothing to stop them. Like, Cignal don't have that amazing team fight that we were seeing from game 1. They don't have Arena, they don't have Ravage. So they don't really have basically single target control unless you can line up a good Inkswell plus Impale out with Eris. And for now, like, the supports are just trying to secure that safe farm for their Chug. They're looking to trade that bot tier 1 to open up some map space. The top does fall. Looks like the bot will fall, but if you're not careful, Nea's just going to look for even more opportunities.
Will. KP being chased down. Jamesy gonna cop a big smack from KP, and well, the Blood Ride is out. Nea gets impaled. Maybe they could kill the Ember here with the Orchid. Yet actually, in fact, Nea, not only is he not gonna die, but he's gonna kill off Jamesy and Eris with a great sleight of fist down. It's painful. It looked great to start with, right? But KP, he still hits like a truck, and you just can't underestimate how much lockdown the Slaughter has.
And this is just dumb. You already have the Solar Crest up and off. You've got the Corrosive Haze. Roche is not going to live for long at all. This is going to be one of the faster Roches we've seen taken. And it's just 3 heroes in the pit. Nea's just watching the ramp, looking for more kills. They get the scan from Cignal, but they can't really stop this anymore.
No, I mean, Roshan's got minus 16 armor right now, so you know, there's not enough time. They will take the Aegis, mid one will take it. Meanwhile, mid lane, Van trying to get started onto Rogi with a rupture out. Meanwhile, Nea pulls off Grips. Fair enough. Rogi's gonna be just fine.
Yeah, and you're at the point here for Cignal. You're 5k behind, 17-9. You've lost the first Roche. Top jungle completely warded out here by SMG. They've got complete control. Abing's just trying to farm bot lane, but
is under attack.
Van is in danger. Nice cookie out. Fui's been so on point with these cookies, and Nea, of course, just directing himself in the right way to be able to land them every single time. As now, did you see how much that crit did, John?
Oh yeah.
Jamesy gonna try and run. Nea maybe in danger, but no, great remnant away. But anyone that didn't see it, by the way, with Sleight of Fist, he crits for 550 damage already. That's without any of the minus armor.
Yep. It's pretty scary. Nea hits like a very, very big truck indeed, and just gonna have to watch yourself. Jamesy still needs to save for the Orchid, not even up and running yet. The only here really reasonably farmed is their Jug and Van.
Yeah, Rupture's out. It won't matter though, Van. He probably can't survive this. Oh, Soulbind there. Van somehow still alive. He's going to eventually drop to KP, but they get near 666. A great kill here for Cignal Ultra as they found even another.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
SMG maybe getting a little bit too overly confident there. You end up paying in Cignal. It's another great trade.
Yeah, they find some kills. They see the split up from SMG. KP was chasing down bot. Mid one's just shoving the top lane. So they take the opportunity to make great work of that Omni from Abing, and SMG just kind of getting stacked up in a very tight spot. The Soulbind locking them in onto the Blood Rite was really what allowed them to kill off Nea. You managed to bounce back, but they're still losing map control though. Like the top tier 2 falls, the jungle's just basically unplayable. They've got one ward watching the ramp here from Cignal Sense, or they could maybe look to punish. You still have a massive lifestealer issue. Like, if they show up, and they will now, KP's got the blink, so the infest place can happen. You don't have anything to go through the rage, so it's going to be a relatively easy time for Midwin to just stand there and melt right through you.
Here we go. Smoke up from SMG. Where they headed though? Oh, Jamesy. They see him. On the right way, however. Meanwhile, mid lane, waiting to set up there as well, but I think this is the big one to watch. Jamesy, smoke broken, KP. Do you want to take a guess? White still has the blink, zip away, TP. Jamesy, he's going to be all right. Nice little play there from Jamesy to be able to get himself out. Mid lane now, the run in from Eris with the Inkswell and the Spike. Carapace might just be enough to blow up this Ember. Here comes the Snapfire Kisses though with the stomp out, but the silence is going to be more than enough. Cignal, a great start already, but KP's in now with mid one onto a ping. They go on the jug, but he's going to just try and run away with the Inkswell, and it might be enough. The added movement speed to get him out. Onto KP they go. Jamesy trying to get the damage, but it may cost him. And it does. Very least they do get the Slaughter and the Ember. Still definitely a positive trade for the side of Cignal Ultra.
Yeah, they've managed to drop the lead down to just 2k, so SMG have to be very cautious about putting Nea up front like that. He's trying to save up for the Manta next to have a way of getting that Dispel off on the silence. It's really the chain silence that's killing him off. Once you get the initial stun from your Nyx, you get the follow-up silence from your Grimstroke or your Blood Seeker.
Dire's middle
you can really punish this rather greedy build on the Ember, so they are doing a fine job of holding on. Issue is once mid one shows up, he's just unstoppable. He just rips right through you, stands in front, he's melting that tier 2 mid. That's even more control that's going to disappear out from Cignal, and they're just not in a position to defend yet.
Dire's middle tower is under
Tier 2 mid tower going to drop very easily here. No defense whatsoever. Cignal just trying to buy more time for it being on this jug to match the farm of mid one. He's not too far behind, he just needs a bit more. Really be able to fight back up against the Lifestealer. SMG meanwhile looks like they're ready to take another team fight. KP gonna try and join the team, but may run into the side of Cignal and will now. Grim's gonna find it, but the silence is not gonna reach in time. Nice blink away from KP. On Nia, looking for Jamesy. Remnants forward is not gonna find him. Jamesy, expert at hiding in the tree line, is gonna avoid them, and now zips the other way. Nia won't make the jump in. Right back to the fountain for the Storm.
Yeah, and for a Cignal send, they've stalled out. Aegis has now expired for SMG, so they don't have to worry about the second life, and Lifestealer gives them a little bit more breathing room to play with if they run into mid one. Just need to be able to somehow kill him. And after that, I guess it kind of simplifies. You are stalling as well for the Orca time here, and Omni.
Omni, oh, Roger, he's got the Shadow Amulet. He has the Shadow Amulet, and now the bash the deep through the spin and bing. He thought he could get himself a nice easy pick off, but oh, there you go, there's the tip out. What do you do, John? Sometimes you've just got to tip yourself.
Yeah, it happens. It's would have been a nice kill because every single one counts right now, but the counter smoke here.
And here we go, Van immediately being targeted. There's really not much he can do in the way of running away. He's going to try. They will have the control and the mobility on Nia. SMG, I mean, they've only got one tier 2 tower to play for now. No Roshan up yet. I believe they still have the Aegis. In fact, never mind, they don't. But I suppose what does it matter? They've just got to wait for either the next Roshan or maybe go after the bottom tier 2 tower.
Yeah, I think right now they just want Nia to finish that Manta up. You can see they're just kind of in the map, trying to farm up, get that Manta on the Ember so he's not chain silenced, and then you're good to go back to doing what you were earlier. 5k lead is back up for SMG. They're starting to set eyes bot, but you can see Cignal, they're just grouped up, smoked behind that tower. They know they can't afford to lose any more outer towers here. We'll see if the big
zip in. They've got the big one, they've got mid one with the silence out. It might just be enough mid one. He's going to try and armor toggle, and he will be able to get himself out. Now runs back in onto Eris. They get one on the Nyx Assassin. KP going to get the infest. Jamesy has no mana left.
Please.
Oh, the armlet toggles through all the damage output, and he actually made it work.
Yeah, it's a Lifestealer. Like if you can't instantly lock him in and chain stun him, it's just so hard to burst down.
Van, he's been stumped up. Nia waiting for the chains. By the fist. Not gonna bother waiting for those chains, it seems.
Is under attack.
It won't really matter though. They're onto the tier 3 tower now. Mid one with the Desolator up and the Solar Crest from Arfu is going to make quick work of this tier 3 tower. How do you defend? You've got Omni in 5, I guess, so you could go for a team fight and try to punish side of SMG, but it's going to be a lot easier said than done. SMG, they do back out at the right time. Eris is going to try and move his way in, but a stomp out is going to lock them all in, and they will just walk away. Eris, he's going to keep trying. Rodgy sees him though. They'll try onto Nia. Omni out. It might be enough to kill off the Ember, but no. KP is in with the stun. They got the Ember. Now Jamesy in as well. On the Storm Spirit, right back onto mid one, but he turns around now with the range. He wants to go for a big team fight. Onto the Juggernaut of Bing is probably going to drop and does. He at least got KP before he went down, but was it really worth it? Probably not.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Cookie.
Oh my god.
Jamesy. Fuels up at least. Might buy him a bit of time, but not quite enough. Arfu on a triple kill on the Snapfire. 10k net worth lead, and then onto the tier 3 mid. Why not?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, and nothing to stop them. Like, that was Omni gone. They don't have that spell. They don't have Rupture for a bit longer. Soulbind still down.
Dire's middle tower
There's just not a very clean line here for the defense. And SMG, despite being a man down, they've still got everything they could possibly need to get these pushes. And they're just going to be able to find free racks down mid. Not going to force the issue at a range. Pull back, get a bit of a reset off. There's a nice regen rune here waiting on a river if they want to just completely top up their life stealer right now. It looks like they don't even need it. Just back to farming, back to stalling out. Next Roche, 1 minute and a half. Cignal,
I'll have to come back.
they need so much more. The Ags is being saved up for by Abing. The Kaya San just being saved up for by Jamesy. I think you're going to need way more than just those 2 items to really take these fights.
In. Okay, Biggie's going to set up right on that next assassin. Spine Carapace is there, but it's not going to be enough to survive. KP is ruptured, but he's just fine. Mid one will heal him up. So you're down to Eris. It's like mid one wants to go after that top tier 3 now. Just put a kind of a full stop on this game. 13k net worth lead. They're going to check the Roshan pit. They're going to try and play it safe, but Roshan's going to be 40 seconds away. We'll see if they want to wait it out.
Just not too long left. They're keeping that pressure in the top lane anyway. Mid one's all alone and getting the stun, but again, every time Rage is up, you just can't really stop him.
Orchid's out. Cookie is going to save him. Arfu, he's just been so impactful with that one spell. And now it looks like SMG, they will not test the waters. They will go for the Roshan play. It's going to be up in 15 seconds anyway, so not much to wait. Cignal Ultra, I suppose for them, they've got to find a way to try and stop this Roshan from happening. But it looks like they'll probably take the time to just try and farm a bit more on a Bing and get closer to that Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, I don't think he has enough time to hit that Ag Scepter timing before the Rosh is up, and it is up. SMG are going to work their way down there. Again, it's not going to take too long to melt it. They've got the AC up on mid one. Even more minus armor coming through. They do get the scan here from Cignal, though.
Radiant are scanning.
Nia, trying to fist out. Zip in. No Orchids out yet. Now the stun in from KP. Get started. Who are they aiming, though? A Bing. He's gone. A Bing just gets ripped to shreds by mid one. Now the Storm's gone. All right. Grims, he's just going to try and run. Van, he will try to do the same, but the chains are out from Nia. He's dead. Mid one. It'll go to Nia this time on the Ember, but they're probably going to go on to the tier 3 tower now. In fact, they're not done yet. Eris, he's been stomped up. KP, he'll take care of the damage output.
Mid one?
Mid one
Where are you going?
Mid one? I don't know, this is, they're really just going to start founder diving. Why the hell not? Why the hell not? They want the GG call. Grim's going to tie in her base. Arfu gets it. No GG calls to come from Cignal, but I think we can safely say the game is over, and well, Dota Plus is giving them a 1% chance. Nice, but say 100 is probably more accurate. It's now Nia. He's going to be just fine. He has the mana up. Mega creeps online. Cignal, they might try for one last team fight. They at least have the Omni to play with. They'll give her a crack. Mid one, be ruptured up, Rage through the Impel and the Blood Right. Nia now For a way in, go on to the next assassin. Inkswell going to be forced out. He is still chained up. Cookie, Arfu, not going to connect it. They are still just all in the fountain, just waiting it out, hoping they go for another dive. Era's going to go in with the spike. Carapace Nia going to get stunned up, and here comes mid one right out onto Jamesy. Look at the damage output.
Oh god.
He 3-hits it. He's 3-hitting Jamesy. He'll just bathe in the fountain, as the GG has been called. Nobody dying. They'll go for the fountain dive. They'll clean him up. Nia, he will go down, but it just doesn't matter. SMG, they take a very